Hi, it's Jennifer Evans with Empowering Wellness Counseling Solutions. And this week we are all about emotional regulation. Hi, it's Jennifer Evans with Empowering Wellness Counseling Solutions, and we are all about emotional regulation this week. We've got a great week in store for you, so if you like what I have to say, hit subscribe so that you can keep up to date with us. Every day is a new discussion. An emotional regulation week, we're looking at the different aspects of emotional dysregulation in the family and how invalidating environments in the family and how our sibling interactions, internal family systems kind of create the way we are and how we act or react. Then we're just going to look at other invalidating environments, and there's 7 characteristics or 7 types of invalidating environments. We're going to explore all of those. We're going to look at individuation and individualization. What's the difference and what's the similarities, and how does that help us to get out of these invalidating environments? We're going to look at and understand what codependency is, and then we're going to round out the week with how this all relates, emotional regulation with success. So stay tuned, hit that like button, and here we go. I'm really excited. Hi, it's Jennifer Evans with Empowering Wellness Counseling Solutions, and we are talking about invalidating environments and how it relates to emotional regulation. Invalidating emotional environments are this feeling of feeling dismissed, unheard, really diminished in our thoughts, our feelings, and our behaviors. And there are 7 key environments that are invalidating that we are going to go through. And that is critical or judgmental environments. This is when we have constant criticism, nitpicking, or judging one's actions, feelings, or thoughts as being either wrong or not enough. And the impact that this has on a person is it really erodes their self-esteem. It fosters a sense of doubt and creates a fear of failure or rejection. And so when we are in this environment, we want to use affirmations to remind ourselves that we are worthy and capable. I'm watching Ted Lasso now, right? And Colin always says, I am a worthy and capable man. Clearly, he had a critical or judgmental environment going on. And you see that actually in Ted Lasso. You see how he was really kind of in a role that would make him feel as if he was judged, or that there would be critical stuff. So it's interesting how it all plays along, even if it's fiction. And when you're out of that environment but you realize that, oh, so that's what was going on at that one role. That's what my boss was doing. That boss was a narcissist and was super critical and judgmental. Well, seek validation from a supportive relationship. Understand that, people have their capacities, and practice some self-compassion through understanding these limited capacities with others. Set boundaries with critical individuals to protect your emotional space, and know that that is yours, and you do not have to give it up to anybody. You have the choice over that. And then we have the overprotecting or over-controlling environment. So there's excessive control over decisions and shielding individuals from any type of challenges. It really prevents them or denies them from being able to have any type of agency or independence. And the impact of this is it creates codependency. It stifles growth and invalidates one's ability to feel like they can handle challenges. And so when you are in this environment, you want to identify what you can control, and focus on those actions that are within your agency. You can imagine yourself as being independent and capable, and keeping some type of affirmation of, I am in charge of my own decisions. I am always in charge of my behaviors, my thoughts, and my feelings. Nobody can take that from me. And as you are healing, realizing that you have been in this space at some way, shape, or form, build autonomy by making small, independent choices daily. Find those micro wins to really find your agency in life. Gradually set boundaries and reclaim that sense of agency. The next one is dismissive or minimizing environments. So this happens a lot, say culturally or generationally. Often, there's been kind of gender roles and stereotypes where women are too emotional and men should never have an emotion. Or be a man, or suck it up, or be a big boy, or you're just being way too emotional right now. You're too much right now. Those are the dismissive and minimizing environments. And so all of the experiences with emotion are just brushed off like it's not a big deal, or it really should not be as intense as you're making it. You're overreacting. It teaches individuals, the impact is it teaches individuals to suppress their emotions and leads to feeling unseen and unheard. And when you're in an environment like this, you have to find internal validations, like my feelings are valid, and even if others don't understand, and use a lot of the mindfulness grounding techniques, the breath work, the naming and labeling feelings, the grounding exercises, body scans. And outside of this environment, to heal knowing that you've had this environment in the past, find journaling to validate the process of your emotions. Understand that the logical consequences of this. And if you go and click in the video description, you can see the interconnectedness of emotional regulation between the triggers, the behaviors, and the feelings. So take a look at the video description and click in my blog to learn more about that. And start engaging with people that are more likely to validate you than invalidate you. The next is neglectful or ignoring environments, which is emotional or physical needs are overlooked or neglected, leading to a lack of support and connection. It fosters feelings of abandonment, loneliness, and unworthiness. It creates mental or emotional distress, and you want to be able to self-check, what do I need right now? Seek small comforts like soothing music or comforting scents, or be with someone who is supportive. And then in the healing realm of it, focus on self-care. Being able to take care of your own needs will help you to heal not having your needs met from the past. And then the next one, which is really, really toxic, we see this a lot, especially when we have insecure leadership in a work environment. We will have chaotic or unpredictable invalidating environments. And this makes it where it's just inconsistent. The rules are up, the rules are down, the rules are supported, the rules are not supportive. There's some responses, there's no responses. There's nothing stable amongst it. There's no predictability. And that creates confusion, distress, and difficulty understanding what healthy boundaries are what a predictable relationship is. And when you're in something like this, you want to create as many atomic habits and structure and routines as you possibly can. You want to create physical grounding, really connecting to your body so that you can ground to what is real and what you know and your valid data points. When you're healing, find a sense of safety by creating that daily life routine. explore, complex things like therapy and coaching to be able to unpack these feelings of distrust and confusion. And continue to find regular opportunities to find mindful grounding in your day-to-day. And the last one is emotionally explosive environments. And that means these outbursts of yelling and aggressive reactions to situations, making it feel very unsafe and uncertain when people are in these explosive spaces. It instills fear. It instills emotional suppression, things we don't feel good about being around emotions. And when we're in that environment, we want to create distance. Their reactions doesn't define me. Their behaviors are not a reflection of my value. And we want to have a very assertive boundaries when we are healing from this type of relationship. Understand where fear and anger is coming from and what is yours and what is somebody else's. Therapy is also, and coaching is a very great place to add right here. And again, you can click in the video description, go to and schedule a 15-minute well insight. It's completely free, and it will get you to building a roadmap to your own healing success. And I would love to do that with you. The last environment that is invalidating is competitive or performance driven. And these are emphasis on achievement, success, or perfection, while downplaying emotional needs and personal struggles. This is where performance trauma comes in. So when you feel like you are just constantly on the go, like this is where that is coming from. Leads to feelings of inadequacy, burnout, and difficulty separating self-worth from accomplishments. It's really hard to not get in external validation loops in this type of environment. And so when we're in it, we want to reframe our self-worth. I am more than my achievements. And we want to step back and focus on intrinsic goals. We want to connect back to our values. What is it that our values and our beliefs are, and stop looking to the external and stay internal. And then that's how we're going to heal too, is we're going to stay internal. We don't need all that external. External will kick us off into a competitive spirit that will not serve us. It does not serve us, and it won't ever serve us. So we don't need it. And as we find these 7 invalidating environments, then we really look at 4 emotional archetypes. And that is the caregiver, the warrior, the visionary, and the analyst. And so each of those will allow us to look at and explore how we are building resilience and how we're holding ourselves back. And if you go to my blog, you'll be able to read more about each one of those archetypes. And so as those archetypes come in, and as our implicit mind is triggering because there's a high stress environment, then the fight, flight, or freeze response will come in. And fight, flight, and freeze is that limbic system that says that I need to react quickly, like something is happening and it's not okay. And so it's scanning, trying to find what to do. And naturally, we are going to be in a fight mode, we're going to be in a flight mode, or we're going to be in a freeze mode. And so we need to figure out what is our natural propensity and how do we downregulate that experience. In the workplace, whenever there is a dependent environment, so that is at work, that is in romantic relationships, that can be in friendships or platonic relationships like roommates, that can be with anything where there is a valid data point that technically, yes, your safety and security, your lifeline, is connected to this. Now, are there lots of shades of gray? Hundos. There's a lot of shades of gray. But in a stressed state, if you don't have this job, then technically you don't have a paycheck. More than likely, you're going to find another job. But technically, yes, this job right now gives you money that you survive on. But that's the stress, and that's where we miss all those shades of gray, and we get stuck in these dependent relationships. And that right there is what's going to trigger the fight, flight, or freeze. It's going to trigger these invalidating environments that we've had in the past and recapitulate them and bring them up. And we will react in not a present state. We will react in our perceived reality. And we're going to talk about perceived reality in a couple of weeks when we talk about manifesting positive energy. And so what we want to do is understand what these triggers are by understanding what environment we are in. What kind of invalidating environment? Did it come from our family? Did it come after that? And we had like a toxic, I'm telling you, these toxic work environments are traumatizing. Do not let them invalidate you on that. They are traumatizing. Awful people, lazy or ineffective or insecure leadership will traumatize you. It will traumatize you, and you will not be the same, because the second you get any type of spidey sense that somebody is questioning you, you're like, what's up? No. And you're going to react. And now what you're doing is you're making them react. And now they're going to treat you like you're afraid they're treating you. And you're going to treat them like they're afraid that you're treating them. And so it's the circle of trust all over again. That trust feedback loop, it keeps coming up, I'm telling you. And we'll see this in like cultural contexts. We'll see this in social media. We see this in a lot of places. And these are what we call our triggers. That right now we're feeling as if we're not in a safe place. This election, the last couple of weeks, has put a lot of people not feeling like they're in a safe place. They're making very emotionally driven and dramatic decisions based on the perceived reality that they are building. And they're building this perceived reality because somebody is manipulating them based on the traumas that they've had in their past. And so that is what is all happening, is those traumas in the past will come up, and these invalidating environments are directly connected to our universal constructs. Once that's triggered, then everything's triggered. And we'll talk about that at the end of this 9 weeks. Everything gets triggered, and you'll see how dysregulated our dysregulated emotions really are. And we're building to understanding each piece of that. And then as we put it all together, the universal constructs are the glue, really understanding what's pushing us forward and what's holding us back. And body-based grounding is a good way to do that. Go back to the 5-minute meditations, and that'll give you a lot of body-based grounding to keep you in the here and now. That is the secret to emotional regulation. I am Jennifer Evans with Empowering Wellness Counseling Solutions. Thank you very much.